And now we're back. Now we're going to do the contour, something that a lot of you are shocked the way I do it. But this is the way I've done it for over 30 years. So, and it's always worked for me. It doesn't apply to everybody, but this is just the way I do it. I know it's very dramatic, but it gives you a very artistic and sculptured look. Generally, I just take an old gnarly brush. Of course, I use Nick Cack. This is like $3, $3.99. This thing with all these different cheap shadows and shimmers in it. Okay, I just dip the brush into that, or I will sometimes use MAC. Just depends on what I have and what the budget is that week. And then I just do this right around my hairline. The lighter you are, you could probably use browns and stuff, but I use this here because I wanted more of an artistic look for drag and realistic look to make the hair look like it's one. Okay? So now I put the black there, and I'm just going to blend it all out. Okay. Right up into your hairline, because that's where your wig's going to be sitting. Okay. Just a little bit more. Okay, so that's what you want with your black. Just right around the hairline from ear to ear. Okay, now what I'm going to do, which shocks a lot of people, I take my Wet n Wild pencil, just sharpen it up a little bit. Flatten the end a little bit. Take your Wet n Wild pencil, and then I just go at the top of my ear. And I do that. See that? And then I just blend that out. Okay. Right into my hairline. Just keep blending until you get it looking kind of smooth looking. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do now is blend that out. You don't have to blend it all the way out because you're going to add a blush into it, and that'll help blend it out. So it might look harsh right now, but just do it like that. If it's easier for you to do it another way, you do it another way. You see how I did that? Okay. And just blend it all the way up like that. See that? And then you do the same thing on the other side. Okay, this is what I do. This is what I do. So I take my Wet n Wild pencil, I just draw like that. Okay, and then I just blend it up into my hairline like this. Like that. Okay. Now we're going to blend that out. We're just going to blend that out like this with your brush. See? This is what you want. Now, we're going to go into our black blush. And we're just going to pat that on. Same thing on the other side. The darker you get it, sometimes you can use the spray paint, but if you use the spray paint, sometimes it'll run down in your eyes and you don't want that. So it's better to use just powder. That's why I use powder. I used to use spray paint, then once I was in a rush, it became a mess. So, okay. So this is my contouring. Sometimes it's a little harsher than this because I want it to read after I put everything on it. I want it to come, all the shapes that I have, I want it to come out like this. I know it's a little shocking. Okay. Now, since we have about 4 more minutes, I'm going to just go ahead and do my blush. I'm going to use my black opal blush so I can show you guys. And then I just dip it in one of them. And then I just add it like that. And like that. Right into that. Right into that. Like that. Same thing on that side. Just put your blush right on top of that black. Not all the way on the bottom part here, you leave that black. You try to. It won't look this intense once you start, after you blend it all out, it won't look this intense. Okay? So, now you just start blending. Like that. Done like that. And you just okay. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to take a good look at that. Now I'm just going to start, I'm going to take that same powder that I'm using on my eyes, and I'm going to start sculpting. You see? Okay, now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, now we're going to let that sit there. I'll be back with video number 4. Okay. Now I'm just showing you how I sculpt my face when I'm doing my blushes and my highlighters.